What's up, everybody? Today I will be giving a fantastic presentation on the best theoretical basketball starting lineup of Dragon Ball Z characters. Why are you making a video about this? Well, Scottie Pippen on March 29th, 2025 made this seemingly pretty simple Instagram post asking the question, who wins in a 7-game series, the 96 Bulls or Dragon Ball Z? Doesn't give any specific characters here, just flat out Dragon Ball Z. If you've seen any of Dragon Ball Z or any of the Dragon Ball franchise, you know that any basketball team is getting smoked by a team of Dragon Ball Z characters. But let's give the Bulls their flowers first. We have them pictured here. This is the same picture that Pippen had AI recreate in Studio Ghibli style. We have Rodman on the far left, Pippen, of course, Michael Jordan, Ron Harper, and Tony Kukoc. The 96 Bulls were one of, if not the greatest team of all time, led by one of, if not the greatest player of all time, in Michael Jordan. He had star caliber help. Rodman, the Worm, was a rebounding machine, and Pippen was an underrated playmaker, great ball thief, and great passer. Outside of their big three, they had a deep roster with other key contributors such as Kukoc, who was Sixth Man of the Year, Harper, and Steve Kerr. The 96 Bulls won an astounding 72 games, setting an NBA record at the time, which was broken later by the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors. But unlike the Warriors, the Bulls finished the job this year and won the NBA championship as part of their second three-peat, which the later Warriors could not do as they faltered in the finals against LeBron James and the Cavs. Just to look at some stats here, insane. Jordan averaging over 30 points a game. Rodman almost 15 rebounds a game. Pippen almost 6 assists. You look at the team stats, they're either at the top of the league or top 5 in most major categories. Number 1 in net rating. Pretty insane stuff. We see Jordan had one of, if not the greatest individual seasons of all time. NBA champion, Finals MVP, League MVP, won 72 games, won the scoring title, and won All-Star MVP, all in a single season. There's no denying that the 96 Bulls were historically dominant, but they never had to face a team of Dragon Ball Z characters. The 96 Bulls would not have lasted a single game against a DBZ lineup, let alone a 7-game series. Why is this? It's pretty obvious, but just a few reasons. The physical abilities of really all notable DBZ characters easily outclass the Bulls. The average human power level in DBZ is 5 to 10. Peak athletes might be a little above that, but even Krillin, who's one of the physically weakest Z fighters, has a power level of 100, which is several factors higher than the average human. Z fighters would just be too fast and strong for even 2 times Defensive Player of the Year Dennis Rodman to handle. Z fighters can even move at speeds at which the human eye cannot comprehend. And not only that, but Z fighters are masters of techniques that would just be impossible to guard for the average person. Not even average person, average NBA player, or even the most elite NBA players, such as instant transmission, where you can practically teleport to anywhere you need to be, literal flight, and Kaioken, which would just amplify these already insane physical abilities way further. This doesn't even mention like Super Saiyan transformations. There's just no shot that the 96 Bulls would have a chance against even a single Z fighter, let alone a 5-man team. So with that settled, we can turn to arguably, a little typo there, my bad, the more important question. What would be the best 5-man basketball lineup of Dragon Ball Z characters? So some framing here. If there was a world tournament for basketball, 5v5, NBA rules, what would be the dream team? And important to remember, this is about basketball, not just sheer strength. Strength was important to talk about with the Bulls Z Fighters comparison, just because the Z Fighters are just on another level than even the highest tier athletes, just, regular humans. But Dragon Ball Z characters, when talking about themselves, they can all generally hang with each other in a fight. Obviously, someone like Goku could absolutely destroy Krillin if he wanted to, but there can be competition there. Just imagine how much more damage Goku could do to Michael Jordan than someone like Krillin. Like it's really just like apples to oranges. So let's get into it. What is the best Dragon Basketball Z lineup? Let's start with the point guard. I'm going with Krillin. He's got crazy Senzu bean passing skills that will translate to passing the rock. His passing skills will enable him to set his teammates up, rack up assists, and facilitate the offense as any good point guard should. His small frame, which may seem like a disadvantage, will allow him to be more nimble and maneuver around screens. He's not really the scoring option here. He's just setting up his teammates. So I think the smaller frame can actually help him here. And as we'll get to, and as you can probably guess who this will be, he has great chemistry with the team's #1 option. So let's move on to the shooting guard. I got Vegeta. His signature move is Gallic Gun. You already know he's a lethal shooter. He's going to be draining those deep balls like nobody's business. Primarily a three-point threat, but he is capable of exploding at the rim when you need him to. Everyone's seen that final explosion. He can get it done. And he has that same type of pride that made Jordan arguably the greatest player of all time. He's not stepping down to anybody. He knows he is him, and he is going to prove it to you. At small forward, we got Perfect Cell. Orlando Magic legend. He's got the experience on the court. He's got that Kevin Durant build that gives him the physical frame to produce on both ends of the floor. He's going to be a pure scorer and a lockdown defender, and there's nothing you can really do about it. He also just has immense swagger. Like, Cell. He's just insane. He's never afraid of the moment. He's built for the big stage. You want him on your team. Obviously, we have Goku. It's Goku. He's the #1. He's easily the strongest, most battle-tested Dragon Ball Z character. He always comes through in the clutch. He's really got top-tier everything. Playmaking, court vision, finishing, defense. Maybe not the best shooter, but that doesn't matter. He's Goku. He's going to find a way. He's the LeBron of this team. He can play point forward if you need him to. He can handle the ball. He can play off ball. He's got it all. He's the end-all leader of this dream team. And then anchoring the paint, we got Broly. Huge body, is going to absolutely lock down the paint. He's intimidating as hell. He will dunk on you while laughing maniacally without remorse. And on top of that all, he's got his whole barrier gimmick that just makes it even harder to get a shot off on top of him. Insane defender. So let's look at some honorable mentions here. I don't know if in this World Basketball Tournament, maybe it's a 10-man roster, you got bench. But I thought there was still a lot of other Dragon Ball Z characters that could really be some great ballers. Let's start with Tien. Third eye helps him process the game better. Great court vision. And his volleyball skills are going to translate to basketball. He can block shots with the spike, and he can set his teammates up with lobs. Piccolo. He's a tactician. He's always the one setting up the battle plans in the show. He's going to be a great floor general. Stretchy arms make him an elite defender. He's going to be blocking shots, grabbing steals with those arms. He's got a good shot with a special beam cannon. Surely that translates to basketball. He can hit it from deep. My only concern is he's a bit old. I'm not super concerned with like injuries, but who knows? I guess if he does get injured, he can just regrow a limb. But I don't know. He's kind of an old head. He might complain about how the game's been ruined and it's too soft, which could, just get in the way. Majin Buu, specifically his first form, where he's, a big old guy before Super Buu or Kid Buu. He's big. He's perfectly fits the center archetype. Can clog up the entire paint. However, he might try eating the basketball, which must be a technical foul. Probably will get him ejected. And there's some coaching concerns. Didn't work out well with Babidi. He might just kind of go rogue, which isn't great in a organized basketball setting. Android 16. I think this is my last one. He's an elite dunker. Wait, this is not my last one. Sorry. Second to last one. Android 16. Elite dunker. See him here dunking Goku, which is far more impressive than a basketball. That'll make him an insane lob threat. But I'm a little concerned about his durability. He kind of blew himself up. Don't want any. He's an android, so I think he's built pretty well, but who knows? So a little concerned with that. And then last we have Gohan, adult Gohan. Fantastic energy. He can get his teammates pumped up, like his dad. Limitless potential. Very clutch when needed. He can really get serious and show up and come through when his teammates need it most. But can he really measure up to his father? He's really the Brawny of Dragon Ball Z. He's always going to be living in that shadow. So it's really just up to him to prove the haters wrong. Show that he's not a Nepo baby. But yeah, I think he really does have good potential on the court. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. As a reminder, starting five I'm going with Krillin at the point, Vegeta at the 2, Cell at the 3, Goku at the 4, and then Broly at the 5 in the paint. I hope you enjoyed this awesome presentation, and have a good rest of your day or evening. And let me know in the comments who you'd put in your starting 5 of Dragon Ball Z characters. So yeah, thanks.